Hey everybody, Uncle Rich here for Who's Telling the Truth. This is a special edition today, guys. Today is November 7th, 2016. It's the day before Election Day. Now I tell you, this election has been a doozy, and the name of this show is Scam-paign. And you're gonna go, Rich, what do you mean Scam-paign? And guys, exactly. This whole election has been a scam, and it's been run by a scammer who's a shyster, a guy who's a Shylock, he's a shafter, he's a con man, he's a huckster, he's a hustler. And guys, by now, obviously, you know I'm talking about Donald Trump. And I want to tell you, tomorrow is going to be a big day. And of course, all the Trump fans are all tooting their horn, and they're so excited. And Uncle Joey, Uncle Joey is so positive that Trump is going to win that he wouldn't bet me. And guys, I wanted to bet Uncle Joey, not money. I wanted to bet. I wanted to have access to his Facebook page. You guys, anybody else can go on it. I've been blocked. But go to Things to Ponder. That's Uncle Joey's page. Tell him you saw his Facebook page on Uncle Rich's Who's Telling the Truth. And guys, Uncle Joey said that if Trump loses the election, Uncle Joey's gonna go dark. And I said, oh, you're gonna go dark? In other words, he says, I'm not gonna have anything to do with Facebook. I'm gonna lose my faith in the American, in America. And I said, Joe, you've already lost faith in America when you're even thinking about voting for Trump. I mean, this guy, he doesn't want to do anything for the middle class. He wants to do exactly what the Koch brothers, corporate America, and the 1% want him to do. And what gets me is you get these simple folk that go to these rallies, and like Uncle Joe is saying, Rich, there's no way Trump's gonna lose. He's got so much enthusiasm, and his crowds are so big, and people are waiting online, and this, he goes, there's no way, there's too much enthusiasm. And I'm watching, and we're gonna have a lot of clips tonight, I'm watching a guy interview Trump supporters in line. And this one girl goes, this is my 4th Trump rally. And she was so proud of it. And I said, your 4th Trump rally? And then all of a sudden, it made sense. These are the people that are so fervent. They're like the old Deadheads, People used to go watch the Grateful Dead. One time me and my 2 buddies are down at Widow Brown's, and we're having lunch, and we're sitting there, we're BSing, the waitress is all excited. We said, what are you so happy about? She goes, oh, I'm going to see the Grateful Dead tonight. She goes, this is going to be my 98th time. And I said, you've seen one group for not, I'm telling, but this is the way the Deadheads were. So now you got these Trump heads. And I'm telling you, we're gonna show you some clips tonight. When you see them, you're gonna go, you gotta be kidding me. But guys, there's a conservative Republican from Ridgefield, our good buddy, Marty Heiser. and Marty Heiser does his own show at Comcast, the same station. He uses the same equipment. So, Marty and I have debated before, and I try to watch him as often as I possibly can. He's on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, and it just so happens that this Thursday night, I'm getting ready to watch Marty, and I'm watching Fox News, and I watch a lot of Fox News because, as you guys know, I love to hate Fox News. But I'm watching Fox News, and Megyn Kelly is gonna have Michael Moore come on in the 9 o'clock hour. So I said, wow, I can't believe this. Because Michael Moore came out with the movie Trumpland, and I wanted to get his, firsthand experience with the movie, and I wanted to get firsthand information. I wanted to hear it from the source. I wanted to see it from the source, never mind hearing it. Donald hears a lot of stuff. But anyway, so I'm juggling back and forth between watching Marty and watching Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly comes on and she says she's going to have Michael Moore, but they go into their first segment and Michael Moore's not on it. So I flip back to Channel 23 and I watch Marty give a presentation on the movie Trumpland. And Marty is singing Michael Moore's praises. And I want to tell you, if I wasn't sitting down, you'd have to pick me up. Because here's a conservative full of hate watching Michael Moore and appreciating a movie that he's done. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm watching Marty, and I'm not passing judgment because I haven't heard it from the horse's mouth. So what happens, and guys, I tell you, sometimes I almost think there is a God because the way the timing and everything worked out. So I flipped over from Marty and I flipped over to Megyn Kelly, and boom, there's Michael Moore. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to play the first clip with Marty, and you're going to hear, and now what I did, guys, Marty replays his show. He does it live Thursday night at 9, and then it's rebroadcast on Channel 23 at 12 o'clock. So what I did was I took my iPhone out, and believe it or not, I recorded the show with my iPhone from my house. So we're going to play the first part, and I want you to hear Marty sing the praises of Michael Moore. So Judy, let's prove what I have to say. Please, let's have clip number 1, please.
Little salty language there. But that's Michael Moore. And I think he's captured something there in this Trump vote. When Hillary Clinton just comes out and says, oh, it's a basket of deplorables, xenophobes, homophobes, angry white guys, people clinging to their religion and their guns. I think Michael Moore has more of a handle on it. That's what's going on. It's not a bad thing. It's democracy at work. And Donald Trump has tapped into something. And this corruption that you see at the highest levels, I'm just going to take one little corner of this basket of corruption, if you will. I have over here on the screen, there's this guy McAuliffe, a big Clinton guy. If we can go.
Nice going, Judy. All right, guys, we dumped out of that because Marty went on to talk about this guy McAuliffe, and it really had nothing to do with what we were talking about. So we kind of phased that out. But now you have to remember, now I've seen Michael, when I called Marty up, it's after I watched the clip from Michael Moore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you my call-in, and then we're going to play the Michael Moore clip to verify that I'm telling, like the bug says, who's telling the truth. And I want to take a good look at Marty's face. I mean, there's a part in the clip where it looks like I hit him with a baseball bat. But guys, this is the way it has to be. Because when you say something ridiculous, you deserve to be ridiculed. It's that simple. So Judy, clip number 2, please.
Conservative putting on Michael Moore. But of course, you didn't watch his whole movie, because if you did, you would have noticed at the end of the movie that he was not endorsing Trump. He told everyone conclusively to vote for Hillary. But
Wait, hold on. News break. Michael Moore is not voting for Donald Trump. I'm just so glad we have our intrepid reporters out there in the field that will bring these precious pearls of wisdom to our attention. Are you saying that Michael Moore is going to vote for the liberal Democrat? Is that what you're saying?
Marty, what I'm saying to you is very simple. You presented a product that was false. You were taken. You took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. You made a fool out of yourself as usual. You proved that you're one of the simple folk who doesn't do his homework, doesn't watch a whole clip, and makes assumptions. Why? Because you're a Republican. And Marty, it's to the point where when are you going to finally say to yourself, hey, I'm tired of this party taking advantage of me, and I'm tired of beating the drum for the people that are trying to hornswaggle me. You know, you can't, you refuse to accept what is real. And you put on it and you make a fool out of yourself.
Okay, Rich, hold that thought, Ed. I'm making a fool out of myself. I've got a guest that's calling in, but call back. I'll take that under advisement. All right, we're joined now by Jacques.
All right, so guys, how could you embarrass yourself by putting up a clip when you haven't watched the whole movie? And this is what I always say about being a critical thinker. You know, you've got to look at the whole picture. Don't look at little pieces. Don't take little segments. This is what happens. Marty fell into the trap. And you think that after a while, these guys would wise up. And they'd say, hey, listen, wait a minute. This happened to me before. You know, they took advantage of me before and they got me to think one way and it was wrong. And guys, I tell you, we're going to show you some clips tonight. You're going to see, you know, how it's easy to trick the simple folk. Now, the next clip is we're going to play you the full clip with Megyn Kelly and Michael Moore. And you guys can be the judge. You sit there, you listen to the whole conversation. They talk about the whole movie. Listen to what Michael Moore says, and you'll say, you know what, Rich, you were right. You were right. You proved Marty wrong. And guys, it's really not Marty's fault. You know, I mean, when you think about the think tanks that are paid to brainwash him, they got their money's worth. They really did. And when you see some of the people on the show tonight, you're going to go, Rich, these people have been brainwashed. And it's sad. It's sad because these are the people that are, you know, when you pull into McDonald's and you order a hamburger, these are the people that are making it. I'm really starting to worry about this country, you know? All right, but now, to verify and to prove what I said, we're going to play the full clip. And it's a 11-minute clip, so like I say on the show, Smoke if you got 'em. So, Judy, clip number 3, please.
Breaking tonight, 12 days out from Election Day. 12. And Donald Trump, along with key members of his team, are pointing people to a clip from a brand new documentary by progressive filmmaker Michael Moore. What? Here is the part they want to share. Watch.
Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote.
But the story does not end there. In moments, we will speak with Michael Moore. But first, Trace Gallagher is in our Los Angeles newsroom with the story behind this strange political alliance. Trace?
Megyn, during the speech that appears in his new movie, Trumpland, the liberal filmmaker explained to an audience in Wilmington, Ohio, about why it is that Donald Trump has more support than people think. Moore talked about Trump's appeal. He even defended Trump supporters, who he once called legal terrorists. Michael Moore is not a Trump fan, but he makes a compelling case about why some people are. Watch.
Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest f*** you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
The video has gone viral among Trump supporters, with both Donald Trump and Donald Jr. applauding it. Trump Sr. writing, quote, "I agree, Michael Moore, to all Americans, I see you and I hear you. I am your voice. Vote to drain the swamp with me on November 8th. Political experts say it appears the filmmaker is genuine in his warning that voters who are currently or formerly in the middle class have been forgotten, and that for them a vote for Trump would be the ultimate FU. But this apparent ode to Trump is without context, as Michael Moore himself points out on Twitter, quoting, "Hey everyone, Trump Jr. and the right wing thinks my movie called Trumpland is pro-Trump. Ha ha. Please don't tell them otherwise. Righties have doctored clip from my film to make it look pro-Trump. 7.9 million views, sending millions to iTunes. Trumpland #1. For the record, the viral clip wasn't doctored. It simply left off this part.
7.9 million views.
Like the Brits, who wanted to send a message, so they voted to leave Europe, only to find out that if you vote to leave Europe, you actually have to leave Europe. And now they regret it. All the Ohioans, Pennsylvanians, Michiganders, and Wisconsinites of Middle England, right? They all voted to leave, and now they regret it.
No question with this trolling, Michael Moore ginned up support for his film. Big question whether he also ginned up support for Trump. Megyn.
Trace, thank you. Joining us now, the man behind Michael Moore in Trumpland, documentary filmmaker and best-selling author Michael Moore. Michael, great to see you again.
Thanks for having me on.
So the real zinger at the end of this clip is you say that everybody, when they vote for Trump, they're going to find out after a few months in office that President Trump wasn't going to do a damn thing for them. It will be too late to do anything about it. You've done it. You've sent the message. Good night, America. You've just elected the last president of the United States. What does that mean?
That means that, well, first of all, when I said doctor, they cut me off right after I said, oh, and it'll feel good after you vote for him. Mm-hmm. And then the next line is for a day, mm-hmm. maybe a week. Mm-hmm. But when you find out that your life isn't going to get any better under President Trump and probably will get worse, that's when you're going to realize what the Brits have realized now.
That whole thing is the wind-up to your ultimate hit.
Yeah, it's the wind-up. They only show the wind-up.
You're being duped. That's your argument. But why? And what do you mean he'll be the last president? He's going to blow up the world? Is that your, what are you saying?
I mean, what I'm saying by that is if we elect Donald Trump as president of this country, it won't be the same country after 4 years. I'm absolutely convinced of that. This is the most vile, disgusting candidate that has ever run for office in this country.
How can you say that when you understand the white working class? You've appealed to them time and time again.
Yeah.
You understand, and you outline perfectly why they're attracted to him. They want him to blow things up. As you say, he's a human Molotov cocktail.
Right. So I'm here, and I'm here on Fox to appeal to people who are watching to not do that. I understand why you're angry. You have every right to be angry. The system has failed you. But he is not the solution to this. And I make the case in the film. The film is a sort of a humorous love poem to Hillary Clinton, because I think I
can hear the ticket sales now.
Yeah, well, it's been #1 on iTunes since last Friday.
Thanks to Trump.
Yeah, well, it was #1. Then The Walking Dead took over. Then The Living Dead. Trump started pushing it because he didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
If he'd watched the whole movie, he and Don Jr. wouldn't be promoting this.
Yeah, no,
because the movie says get out there and vote for Hillary Clinton.
He tweets out, this is Donald Trump, I agree, Michael Moore. I agree, he says. And Donald Trump Jr. says, Michael Moore gets this one 100% right.
Yeah.
But you've said,
So obviously he didn't watch the movie because it tells everybody to vote for
He's a busy man.
So,
but speak to this, because you understand, you speak about the people in Ohio, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and in your piece you talk about how they lost their jobs, they lost their homes, they had a divorce, now the wife and kids are gone, the car's been repoed, they haven't had a real vacation in years, they're stuck with the crappy Obamacare bronze care, they can't even get an effing Percocet. They want change, and they don't see it in Hillary Clinton.
Well, they should, because she will make this better. She is the proponent of universal health care. She's been that way for 25 years, and that is what's going to. Obamacare will get better under her. Remember, the real problem with Obamacare is not the Obama part of it. It's that private insurance companies are still calling the shots. They get to raise these rates. There's no control like there is over Medicare and the things that the government has a say in. Obamacare was only a halfway measure. We'll get the rest of it under Hillary Clinton. She's going to do so many things to raise the minimum wage. She's going to do things that will help equality for women.
You like her so much. Why were you against her when she ran against Obama? And you were against her in the primary. You like Bernie. You seem to be like a reluctant Hillary supporter. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I was a reluctant Hillary, yes, because she voted for the war. I thought she was too cozy with Wall Street. I supported Bernie. I supported Obama 8 years ago.
What about all the WikiLeaks disclosures? Do they bother you?
No.
You're a lefty.
No, not at all.
You don't care about the Clinton cash and the...
No, I care about women should be paid the same as men. I care about the polar ice caps melting. I care about the big issues. And those are the ones you've got to have the smart person in the room. And though I may not agree with her on all these issues, that's not really the point anymore. The point is that we have a choice between somebody who is smart, who has a heart, who's going to stand up for kids and for families and for working people, and we have a billionaire who just says these things, trying to pretend that he cares, and just the con with me right now, just the con that where they've taken a piece of my movie and put it out, only half of that little clip out there.
Do you think it's knowing? You think it's knowing, or is it just an error that they haven't?
Well, there's no error. No, it's either one. It's either they're dumb, and I honestly don't think they are. Or they know they're
misleading.
They're like dumb like a fox, maybe. Yes, they are. They know they're misleading people because they're counting on the fact that people who are in the working class are so desperate and so hurt by what has happened to them that all they'll do is hear those few words and not hear the rest of my paragraph.
But even before you articulated very well how they feel, they were with Donald Trump. He is beating her by 33 points with the white working class. 33. I mean, it's huge. They are attracted not just to the messenger, but to the message too.
Yes, that's
and
sad.
But you know how
sad.
they feel. This is the way many Republicans and what we know about these folks is many of them feel like disenfranchised Republicans. Is they're sick and tired of people talking down to them and telling them they're too stupid to understand what's good for them.
Exactly, and they're not irredeemable. No human being.
They're not deplorable, and they're not all racist.
Racists are deplorable, but you're right. They're not irredeemable. No human is irredeemable.
Michael Moore thinks he's smarter than me. He's basically telling me I'm too stupid to realize I shouldn't support Trump.
No,
well, I get it. I've been watching Trump, and they're saying I love him. I don't care what Michael Moore's trying to tell me.
And what I'm saying is I understand you've been abused, and I'm here in Ohio to conduct an intervention to basically to say that sometimes abused people have a hard time making up their minds and making the right decision because of the abuse and the attack on the working class has been so intense over the last couple of decades that I understand why there's a lot of confusion here, and Trump is a huge ball of confusion in this, and it seems like he's going to be your human hand grenade that you're going to get to toss in there. When Trace pointed out there about the legal terrorists, it's that actually what I had said is that there is a legal way on November 8th to do what Trump says he's going to do, blow up the system. You can participate in that by going in there and handing the hand grenade to Donald Trump. I think that's a risky proposition. I think it's a dangerous thing to do. And I think that you're not going to be better off with this billionaire who's never spent a day in his life worrying about you, caring about you, doing anything for you.
If they see it and they find out that it's not a pro-Trump film, they're smart enough to realize this is information. I'll take this point of view and I'll make up my own mind, as they will do.
But he's lied to them, and I'll already have their $5, and I want to give it back to them.
Well, go for it.
I don't know how to do that.
You can give it to me, and I'll make sure it gets them. Trust me.
You have.
Okay, I gotta go. Michael Moore, a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me on.
Great to see you.
All right.
Also tonight.
So, guys, you can watch the movie. It's 35 minutes long. It's short. It's free. It's on YouTube. And I don't know how many views they've had by now, but, the most important thing is to be informed and to get the information from the right source. What we always say on this show, be specific and cite your source. Well, you got the source right there. And then, people are going to say, well, Rich, you really shouldn't blame Marty for promoting something like this. He meant well. Well, he meant well, but he didn't do well. And what he did was he helped create division. And this is what we have to eliminate. I tell you, I was watching Fox News today. I watched a commercial, a Donald Trump commercial, and it was on healthcare. And guys, I'm telling you, it was just blatant BS. But the way they proposed it and the way the commercial, and I tried to download it. I couldn't find it. Otherwise, I'd be showing it to you. But they so misrepresented what Trump wants to do. First of all, Trump wants to eliminate Obamacare. You don't realize by doing that, you're going to put 22 million people out of without insurance. Plus all the other benefits, the fact that the pre-existing conditions, all these things will go away. But, Obamacare is a dog whistle to the Republican Party and to Marty. And this is what divides the people. We don't want to divide people. Let's get together. Let's fix the problems. We know we got a problem. Let's sit down like gentlemen and let's fix it. But the way things are going now, we can't even get people to talk to each other. We divide. And so Trump wants to build walls instead of building bridges. Give me a break. But the next clip is with Governor Walker. And this shows you where he wants to turn the state that he's in to a right-to-work state. Why? So they can put the profits in their pockets instead of putting it in the people's pockets. But you're going to watch Governor Walker and then a little bit from George Carlin. And guys, this will just prove our point about the division. So Judy, let's have clip number 4, please.
You see, despite a lot of the rhetoric we've heard over the past 11 days, the bill I put forward isn't aimed at state workers, and it certainly isn't a battle with unions. If it was, we would have eliminated collective bargaining entirely, or we would have gone after the private sector unions. But we did not.
Oh,
Maybe it's the,
hi,
maybe it's
Mary.
the
Well,
turkey.
good to see you. Yeah. Any chance we'll ever get to be a completely red state and work on these unions?
Oh, yeah.
And become a right to work?
Well, in fact, the
What
big thing
can we do to help you?
we're going to start in a couple weeks with our budget adjustment bill. The first step is we're going to deal with collective bargaining for all public employee unions,
Right.
because you divide and conquer.
That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fun. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing. Happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class.
Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer.
Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that to the people of your state? I mean, don't these guys know that there's cameras around? I mean, doesn't somebody say, hey, listen, don't say nothing. Don't say, unless you're in a private room. I mean, now, what makes it even worse is, you know, we talk about the divide, and there's one company that wants to end the divide. And guess what company it is? The Koch brothers. Guys, they just started coming out with these commercials, and we'll probably do the whole next show on this, because I just saw this like the past couple of days, and I really haven't even had an opportunity to look into it. But we're going to play you this one clip. It's a 1-minute clip. And what is the one thing the Republican conservatives always do? The exact opposite of what they want you to do. So what do they want to do? They pretend they want to end the divide. They don't want to end the divide. That's their meal ticket. That's what gives them the time and the opportunity to go to the bank, like George Carlin said. So, Judy, let's prove what I'm saying, and let's have clip number 5, please.
Look around. America is divided between success and failure, with government and corporations picking winners and losers, rigging the system against people, creating a two-tiered society with policies that fail our most vulnerable, dooming many of our poor to an unjust cycle of incarceration, stacking the deck against businesses that don't get subsidies and tax breaks. We could do so much better. We could reform our legal system and free young minds to reach their potential. With an end to red tape and excessive regulations, innovation would flourish. America could be open for business again. At Koch, we believe it's time to remove the barriers, to end the divide, to replace winner-take-all with a system where we all can win. Learn more at endthedivide.com.
See that, guys? End the divide. Get rid of the excessive regulations. Regulations and taxes that are killing us. What regulations are they talking about? Guys, on Facebook, one of my buddies, Kevin Natrella, he got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. So he typed, yeah, I'm so mad, you know, with these regulations, I got a ticket. I said, Kevin, first of all, you're an idiot for not wearing a seatbelt. Second, these regulations are put in place for what? To protect you. And if I don't even get behind the wheel without even thinking about putting my seatbelt in. But 40 years ago, you couldn't get me to wear one if you paid me. Guys, the culture changes, times change. We get smarter. We evolve. Oh, brother. Some of my creationist friends on Facebook, they don't want to hear that word. We evolve. But guys, when you have division like this, and you're going to spark hatred like this, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get some people that are going to cry out for a revolution, for a rebellion. And you're going to say, oh, Rich, come on, you're making this up. Guys, I'm not making this up. These are Trump supporters in line being interviewed. So, Judy, clip number 6, please.
We're going to rebellion. We're overthrowing this country. We're getting rid of this clown act. It's over. Clinton, the Marxists, it's over.
Are you worried about these latest polls? He's slipping a bit.
No, I don't care, because we are going to take this country back no matter what. She's going to prison, even if they pull off the fake campaign with all the voter fraud, and she wins with voter fraud. Let me finish.
We have no evidence of voter fraud, so what will you do? Just quickly, sir.
There's no evidence.
Let me ask you a quick question, sir.
This is a rigged
a very quick question.
System.
What will you do if Donald Trump does not win?
We're going to rebellion. We're overthrowing this country. We're getting rid of this clown act. It's over. Clinton, the Marxists, it's over.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, pretty strong views from that gentleman.
You ever try to reason with a rock? I mean, honestly, that guy, and there's voter fraud, and it doesn't matter. There's no way that you're not going to convince him that there isn't voter fraud. Why? Because he heard it. Does he have any proof? Does he have any facts? Does he have any evidence? He doesn't need it. He heard it on hate radio. And this is what happens. You get these simple folk out there. You can't tell them. These are the people that don't believe in global warming. But wait, we got a clip coming on that yet. So anyway, the next clip is going to be more Trump supporters. And guys, I tell you, just have fun and listen to these Fruit Loops. So Judy, clip number 7, please.
You have a birthday message for Hillary Clinton? It's her birthday today.
Yes, I do. Trump that bitch. We could care less about her birthday, and we hope to see her not in the White House.
So you obviously are not a fan. Hey, it's Jordan with TYT and TYT Politics. I'm here inside Donald Trump's rally in Kinston, North Carolina. He's not here yet, but his supporters are ready to rock and roll. Earlier, we were in line with some Donald Trump supporters. If she wins, you're not happy about it at all, even though it'll be a woman president?
Absolutely not. I don't believe there should be a woman president.
Why not?
I believe in Christianity. I see that she does not stand for the Christianity.
Does Christianity say you can't have a female president?
It doesn't say. I just don't believe it should be women leaders.
You think women should be more in the complementary role?
Yes, I do. I believe women should, stand back from things like this, especially from the White House, and to be speakers like this.
Because we've had some pretty awful presidents, and they've all been men.
Well, that's true. I'll be glad when the one we've got's out of the White House.
All the mainstream media doesn't report correctly.
Who's your preferred media?
Fox.
Fox?
Mm-hmm.
Only 3.5 million
Fox.
people watch Fox on TV. You got 350 million people in this country.
You think it's the media purposely trying to help her?
Sure, they're trying to. They want a global society.
What do you mean global society?
That means the whole world, one whole world, like intervenes. Everybody, no boundaries anywhere, and you can't have that.
Guys, look at all the paraphernalia on the table, all the hats and the shirts and...
Is that a thing where you think Jesus
Nice
would think women should be leading countries or states or whatever?
What did she pay for that hat and the
You think
buttons?
Mr. Trump, he hasn't
And
said
the
that, but do you
flag.
think he would agree with you?
They got her
Absolutely.
for $100
He'd
bucks,
agree?
didn't
No
they?
woman president?
Absolutely.
Trump's
100%.
It's just
no
going to be
business.
more of the same. What we have seen happening, and with Obama, it's just going to keep on. It's an extension. This country is going to continue with, unabated, with the amount of immigration we've had. Here, we eat pork. Okay?
But how does it affect your life if somebody doesn't speak English, doesn't eat pork? How does that affect you?
Because they want to bring their culture. I have no problem with them wanting to come here, but
new people coming into the country, they're the first people to try to get people to vote up for Democrats whenever they come into the country. We'll help you do this, we'll help you do that.
You've seen in America Sharia law?
it's already been asked for. Happened down in Texas.
What if we Americans suddenly had a desire to go live in Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Morocco, and suddenly we wanted to impose our culture?
How is it imposing my culture if I go to Iraq and choose not to speak Iraqi and eat hamburgers?
Well, I mean, if I wanted to have a pulled pork sandwich in Iran, do you think I might have a little bit of a problem doing that? Do you think I might be arrested for actually eating pork in public or something along those lines? You know, having different cultures is fine. Having respect for different cultures is fine. When you try to diffuse and get rid of a culture.
What evidence are you seeing that they are trying to cleanse out your culture and impose their own?
Well, when you don't assimilate. In other words, people from another country come and they have their own enclaves and they exclude people from living amongst them because they want to maintain their heritage and their ties to their original country.
Are there enclaves in America with just Muslims or Mexicans that you're not allowed to go in?
Well, I mean, look at France. You know,
I'm talking about America, though. I'm talking about America.
And I can't find any, off the top of my head because I'm just not informed enough about the enclaves. I think there's some in Minnesota.
Now, it's Hillary's birthday. Do you have a wish for her? A song you want to sing? A message?
Lock her up. Lock her up for her birthday.
If she's actually committed crimes, why do you think nobody's going after her?
Well, they control the Justice Department, and now it seems the FBI.
I believe some more emails possibly could come out, and some of the other emails that's come out about Trump are untrue.
About him assaulting women?
Absolutely. I do not believe all of that whatsoever. I believe it's all kind of fixed.
You think it's some conspiracy where 12 women just got in a room and figured, let's bring him down?
Money can change anything.
Who's giving him money?
I would say the Clinton Foundation.
Got proof? Because you'd win the Pulitzer if you had proof.
I don't have proof, but I'd love to get my hands on some. But I see some WikiLeaks are coming out.
That bitch.
Donald Trump.
The simple folk. I mean, there you have it. And like I said, there was one clip where one girl, she was so proud of the fact that it was her 4th Trump rally. And I'm saying to myself, now I get the idea. I mean, it's like they're going to a WWE event. And, WWE's a business. Well, guess who's one of the best businessmen in the world? You got it, Donald J. Trump. And you know what? We're going to show you a clip that proves what a good businessman he really is. So, Judy, let's have number 8, please.
Donald, I'm really a good businessman. I'm so good at business.
He declared a $916 million loss on his 1995 income tax returns.
The man's a genius.
Yes, only a genius can lose $1 billion running a casino.
He was born with a golden shovel in his mouth. Whenever he tried something, he failed. And whenever he failed, his dad bailed him out.
It's a great time to start a mortgage company.
And whatever happened to Trump Airlines? Trump's got a new game.
My new game is Trump, the game. Trump, the game.
I've just raised the stakes.
I've had many magazines.
Success. It's going to happen to you.
So while some of us think about buying a bike, Donald Trump has bought a bike race.
It can really very much rival the Tour de France.
It's going to stay strong. It's going to stay strong for a long time. The Trump network wants to give millions of people renewed hope and with an exciting plan to opt out of the recession.
Why won't he release his tax returns? And I think there may be a couple of reasons. First, maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Second, maybe he's not as charitable as he claims to be. Or maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes.
That makes me smart.
That's not smart, that's ignorant.
Guys, on November 28th, Trump has to go to court to defend himself and Trump University. So I tell you, I have a feeling that this presidential campaign is going to cost this clown a fortune. But you know what? I think all he really wanted to do was stroke his ego. And if that, and hey, we had, what's her name, that ran for governor in Connecticut. She spent $40 million. So if she spent $40 million, I mean, what's a couple of $100 million for Donald? I mean, can you imagine what this is doing for his ego? And guys, I was having so much fun with Uncle Joey. I said to Uncle Joey, I said, Joe, I've been hearing that Trump is having a hard time sleeping. And he needs somebody. They took his Twitter account away from him. And of course, hey, I just want to spread another rumor, so we can have another conspiracy theory. So we can have as much fun as the Republicans. But guys, the next clip we're going to play is Hillary and a speech that she gave yesterday. And I forget, I think it was in Florida. But guys, when you hear what she wants to do for the country and how she wants to do it and how she's going to pay for it and how we all benefit from it, and she leaves no stone unturned, and she's not saying she's going to make it great. She's telling you how she's going to do it. So guys, sit back, and you're going to hear most of her plan, and most of it's just dynamite. So Judy, clip 12, please.
And I know there's a lot of frustration and even anger in this election season. I see it, I hear it. Sometimes, I'm the subject of it. I get it. But anger is not a plan. Anger is not going to get us new jobs with rising incomes that will create a strong, thriving middle class. I believe that we're going to grow this economy. We're going to grow it from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. That is what my opponent offers. And it might work for him, right? It might. But it's not going to work for the vast majority of working Americans. That's why I want us to have a big infrastructure jobs program. There is so much work to be done. Good, honest, honorable, dignified work our roads, our bridges, our ports, our airports, our tunnels, our water systems. And these are jobs that can't be exported. They've got to be done right here in Cleveland, in Youngstown, in Dayton, in Akron, in Columbus, in Cincinnati.
What a girl. What a girl.
And we're going to bring back advanced manufacturing to Ohio and elsewhere in our country. Now, some people, when I say this, they kind of, look at me like, well, that's not going to happen. It is going to happen. And I'll tell you, two of my strongest allies are going to be Sherrod Brown and Marcia Fudge, and I hope Ted Strickland when he gets to Washington. People say to me all the time, well, how are you going to get anything done? Won't there be gridlock? There will only be gridlock if people that are elected to represent you don't want to help you. It's not complicated, my friends. If they want to keep helping the wealthy, the powerful, and the well-connected, yeah, then we're going to have gridlock. Because I want jobs with rising incomes. I want people having a better shot at the future.
That's it. That's it.
And we are going to have more clean, renewable energy jobs to combat climate change and put Americans to work.
Now you're talking my language. That's it.
Be the best president small business has ever had, because that's where most of the new jobs will come from. And once we get these new jobs and we start producing more things in America, I want people to buy those things in America. Any of you see the debates? In that last debate, I pointed out that Donald Trump has bought Chinese steel to build his last two buildings. All the while, he's been running around Ohio talking about what a great advocate he's going to be for working people. He didn't have to buy Chinese steel. He didn't have to help employ Chinese steel workers. He could have bought good American steel made by American steel workers. So don't just watch what we say. Watch what we've done for the last 30 years and whose side we've bet on. And we're going to make this economy fairer. Look, I really believe in hard work. That's how I was raised. That's the kind of family I came from. So I think everybody has to work. Everybody who can needs to work. But I do think we need to raise the national minimum wage, because if you work full time, you shouldn't still be in poverty.
That's right.
And I also think if you're working, you ought to get paid fairly, which is why we need to guarantee equal pay for women's work.
Whoa. Are you nuts? You want women to get paid equal to men? What are you crazy?
This is not a woman's issue. This is a family issue. Because if you've got a mother, a wife, a sister, or a daughter working, you don't want her shortchanged. And we need to start recognizing that a lot of the costs that families are facing now are really burdensome. I want to get child care affordable, right? Do you know, in a lot of states right now, good child care costs as much or more than in-state college tuition. That's crazy. Who could afford that? And I want us to have paid family leave, so if you get sick, or your spouse is sick, or your parent is sick, or your child is sick, or you bring a newborn home. Now, I don't think these are luxuries anymore. I think these are all about rebuilding the American middle class. I believe it's all about respecting work, providing enough jobs for people to have a good future, getting incomes rising, making it work for everybody. And I have said I will pay for everything I'm proposing without adding a penny to the national debt, right?
All right.
And that is in very stark contrast to my opponent, because what I've said is I am not raising taxes on the middle class. Anybody making less than $250,000 a year is not going to have any tax increase while I am president.
Sounds fair to me.
I'm going where the money is, and the money is with the wealthy and corporations because they've done really well in the last 15 years, and they should pay their fair share to support our country. And again, people say to me, well, how are you ever going to get that through Congress? Well, I'll tell you, I think it's pretty simple. I'm going to look at all the people who would be helped by everything I've just said, the new jobs and the rest of it, and I'm going to compare it to the very few people in every congressional district who would have their taxes raised. And I'm going to say, whose side are you on, Mr. or Madam Congresswoman? Are you supporting the 5 people in your district who will have their taxes raised, or are you supporting the 500,000 people who will be benefited by what we're going to do together?
Now you're starting to talk. That's how you do it. That's how you hit it.
And another big barrier that we've got to knock down is making college affordable for every single person. It's outrageous. I meet people across America who couldn't afford to start college, could not afford to stay, and never graduated, and still have debt. Don't have a degree, but they got debt. That's crazy. And I see some people pointing to themselves. Yeah, I got to tell you, look.
Guys, when you listen to her, it's not hocus pocus, it's not magic. It's really simple. You know, there are better ways to pay for things. And this is what we have to do. So we still have 1 minute, Judy? So you want me to,
about 40 seconds.
about 40
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Hey, we're getting better on the ends, guys. But really, I want to thank everybody, especially I want to thank all my friends on Facebook. And guys, you know, please don't forget to vote. I mean, it's very, very important. And you don't have to vote. You know, I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I mean, I think I've already done that, you know. But really, you know, I just hope that on Wednesday morning, I don't have to, you know, I can look at the TV and not worry and think that we have a bunch of stupid Americans living in this country. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So guys, please, please, keep my faith in mankind. Vote for Hillary. See you next week. Toodles.